Back in Week 9, the Raiders dominated their first matchup against the Broncos. Can Denver even the score? Find out next.
Whiteout conditions throughout the Great Plains sure made travel difficult, but we're still expecting a full house at Empower Field and Mile High here in Denver. A moment ago, through a shower of pyrotechnics, it was the hometown Broncos taking the field as they get set to do battle with the Las Vegas Raiders. Welcome again, one and all. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brandon Gaudin on hand alongside Charles Davis. And yes, the storyline here, the weather. Snow and more of it expected as this game continues. So how will that impact how this one goes?
Can these teams ignore the distraction and the strangeness of playing in a snow game? Because it actually affects the crowd as well. That big roar you get is often muffled when there's a snow game. And the second part, what's the footwear you got on? Does that fit the turf you're playing on? And how will it handle as things get a little bit slick?
We go from Denver. From the 6. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped at the 23-yard line. So here are the Broncos now for their opening drive. They'll be taken out by the product of the University of Louisville, the talented Teddy Bridgewater.
That was a solid performance last week, wasn't it? 2 touchdowns, no interceptions, ran the team well, won the ball game. Bottom line, may not have been earth-shattering, but it didn't need to be.
Now a first carry for the former Tar Heel, Javonte Williams. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24. The numbers on the ground for Williams a week ago. 15 carries, 69 yards.
He's been a huge part of their winning streak because he establishes not just an identity and a tone, but the team relies on it. He takes care of the football, he gains yardage for him, chews up clock, and that's been a big part of why they're winning games lately.
Bridgewater's throw taken in by Sutton. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. Bridgewater. This one swung out to Williams. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Just the first quarter, but tackling going to be so important going forward. They've got to limit plays like that.
And that's something when you see it happen early in the game and they don't get him on the ground, you can always tell that they were concerned about it going in. Because I can just tell you from my days, I remember being in college and worrying all off-season about our season open opponent, and they had a receiver that could shake and bake with the best of them. I tackled him on the first pass of the game, and the relief was incredible. Ended up having a pretty decent ball game. But if I had missed him, it would have been a long night.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Bridgewater again. So that'll go as a 4-yard loss on the play. And that'll force upon him a 3rd and 14. And they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area that they want him involved. Just as you said, they want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And now here's a deep shot that's complete. And he will be taken down deep in Las Vegas territory. A huge play there for Denver.
We expected this defense to be tested by this passing game coming into this one, and there's an example on this first possession of the game.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. From the red zone now, Bridgewater. A pass for Sutton is intercepted. Picked off by Casey Hayward. And the Raiders are going to get the football here as they force the INT on the game's opening drive. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by a Heisman runner-up during his college days. It's the versatile Jalen Hurts.
Tremendous production in college at 2 different universities, and this is a guy who was a finalist for the Heisman Trophy. Still much more of a runner than a thrower, but has plenty of arm and is capable of making the big throws downfield. And don't underestimate his ability to think the game. Remember, he's the son of a coach.
So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 35-yard line.
Off the option, here's Jacobs.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know, you know better than I, he has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
On 2nd and 12, Hurts fumbles it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And this is going to be brought back for a Denver touchdown. And Charles, look at the big fella. What a rumble that was. Not only to scoop it, but then take it the rest of the way for the touchdown.
And now you know they're going to have to hear about it from now on. The defensive backs, he's going to want to run with them, do their drills, the whole deal. He thinks he's the pace setter now.
It doesn't matter what happens in practice this week, he's smiling. Aldrich Rosas on for the extra point. Boy, these may be an adventure this afternoon, but this one is good. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. The Raider offense heading out as we take a look at the playoff race in the AFC.
And for the moment, they're sitting pretty in possession of that number 2 seed. But as we know it often happens, this is all still subject to change.
Oh, you're so right about that. But even though the math isn't there yet, I think it's going to take new math for them not to make the playoffs. They're almost certainly going to be in the tournament and certainly going to be a dangerous team if you have to play against them.
And trying to get it to Ruggs, but it's intercepted. Picked off by Kyle Fuller. And his guys will take over at the 25-yard line. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. 7 yards, the pickup there.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
On second down, it's Williams, and he's heating up at the line of scrimmage. Might have gotten a yard down to the 16. This defense going to bring out a couple extra DBs here on 3rd and a yard. To throw, Bridgewater. And he's got his tight end fan. Touchdown, Broncos. Noah Fant, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you get the defensive touchdown early, give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game. They always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. Extra point through the snowflakes, up and good. And it's now 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a Denver touchdown. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. And to no one's surprise here in Denver, that'll carry through the back of the end zone for a touchback. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And they're in an early hole. The first drive, they threw the interception. That led to a touchdown, so decent-sized deficit early on.
It is, but I think you hit the key words, early on. So they have to decide, do we even need to change game plan, or do we just need to execute better and try and get back in this game?
This defense for the Broncos, they were very solid last week in the victory over Baltimore.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
Well, I tell you, there is no antidote for speed, even at the quarterback position, as he keeps it himself and turns it into good yardage.
And it still takes time for a defender to react. Even as quarterbacks carry the ball more and more in today's NFL, they're still a little bit in disbelief and realize, oh my goodness, he's running with the ball. He may be 8, 10, 12 yards downfield at that point.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. A give, it's Jacobs off the option. And he's got it across midfield and into Denver territory. A check on Jacobs from a week ago. Pretty good as he found himself in the end zone on 2 separate occasions.
And those are the most important numbers, because no matter what you pile up prior to the goal line, getting in is all that matters. Putting those numbers up on the board, and they love them when they're 6s.
Now a give to Jacobs running right. Uses the stiff arm. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
I have to admit, I'm excited by that play call and the end result, because this is a team that's down big early in the first quarter, and a lot of teams will just panic, abandon the playbook, and just start firing the ball all over the place. It's way too early for that. Stick to what works for you.
Down double digits, and we talked about their game plan being both running and passing there. You're right. They're sticking to the game plan, getting the ground game going.
A lot of football left to be played.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
2nd and 6. Here's the first carry for Kenyon Drake. A gain of 4 last play. They double that here and get 8. Well, you're down early. How do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator, let's run the football, let's get things settled down a little bit and find our way back into this game.
Hurts with a little pop pass on the jet sweep. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
Now a give right side. It's Jacobs. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Give him 6 yards on the carry. It's going to be 3rd and 3 now. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The 8th play of the drive coming up. It's 3rd and 3. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. And Jacobs, I don't think is going to get there. No. It appears they're going to mark him short of the first. He needed 2. He got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. Daniel Carlson set for the Raider field goal. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2. As they've got it with 4th down and 1. And the first play will be a field goal try. The kick by Carlson is good. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Denver's offense ready to go again. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
On 1st and 10, Bridgewater. And this will be a gain of 5 as he gets it to the 30. So these two teams faced off earlier in the year, right around mid-season, back in Week 9. And it was the visitors getting the win there, so they'll be looking for the sweep back here at home. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. They'll hand it off now. Williams. A very tough run, but for a short gain out near the 32. 5 yards on 1st down, but now just a 1-yard pickup there on 2nd.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. Corey Littleton drops him for a loss of 10, and it's going to be 4th and long.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss. On 4th down, here's Sam Martin on to kick it away. He was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. No return, but it goes down as just a punt of 31 yards. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10. Las Vegas' offense back out there ready to go. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
Well, one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know it, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Pretty ideal right there. Keep it yourself, get the first down, and get the heck out of bounds.
And knowing him, I believe he's thinking, I can get a few more yards if I just lower my shoulder. But he also hears that second voice in his head. His head coach and probably his agent, too, saying, get out of bounds, man. Don't do that.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Hurts going to keep it again. Hurts fumbles it. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he's just across midfield and down at the 49-yard line.
Playing in snow brings so many other factors into the game. It's not just trying to take care of the ball, and we just saw there that that's difficult to do, but just trying to keep your feet and carry out your assignments and make sure you're comfortable while you're out there playing. Are you warm enough in your clothing? A million things going on, but the biggest one, hold on to the ball.
Now a first down carry. It's Williams. And down to the 44, 5 yards that time.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
And he goes down, but not before getting this inside the 25.
Partner, this is one of the best routes anyone can have in their offensive playbook. Tough to defend because you think it's a go route, and then he breaks it back on the comeback. There's one other thing you need as well.
A well-thrown ball.
Exactly right. You have a guy who has some precision in throwing the football because of the timing of the route.
They'll run on first down. Williams. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9.
There you go. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's 1st and goal. Here's Bridgewater. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
You got to be precise with your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on 2nd and goal. Here's Bridgewater. And he's got his tight end Fant. Touchdown Broncos. Noah Fant, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Rosas good with the extra point. And the lead is up to 18 now. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it culminates in a touchdown by the Broncos. Now after the touchdown, here's Rosas on to kick it away. From the 6. Now a crease here as he's past the 30.
Henry Ruggs and the Raiders set to go back to work.
You would have to think they're going to make it more of a priority to get him the football. You're losing here in the second quarter, and he's been really quiet.
I think all we have to do, and it's too bad we can't actually see the actual play sheet now from the coordinator, because he's looking down at that and saying, okay, do I put him in different spots? Do I try and isolate him? What routes do I run? You're exactly right. They've got to get the ball in his hands and get their offense kick-started.
He does have the 2 catches, but pretty quiet so far.
Well, he is certainly dangerous when he spots a lane, and he keeps it himself there and worked out well.
How about the moving parts on a play like this? You know you have to practice it over and over because it's almost like a ballet that has to be choreographed. But how about once he made the decision to go, he committed to it and went. Let's face it, most teams are going to defend the running back much more than the quarterback on that type of a play.
That's going to be complete on the sideline, but, you know, that throw left him no room to run, and the good footwork nearly all for naught. 3 yards the gain there, second down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
From just shy of midfield, Hurts. He finds his man, complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
And that was a beautifully executed screen pass. Let the rushers get upfield and get the escorts in front, meaning the offensive linemen, other blockers out in front. Completed the pass beautifully. So now you've got all that open space with big guys leading the way.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10. Hurts fumbles it.
The Broncos say they have it. They do.
I don't care what the scoreboard says, partner. You know who's winning this game right now?
Mother Nature?
Yes, indeed. Precipitation's winning in a big way. Sloppy. All these turnovers right now.
Well, this was the forecast. We got what was forecasted, and we've gotten a lot of turnovers.
Javonte Williams and the rest of the Bronco offense back out onto the field.
And he's closing in on that number that all running backs circled beginning of the year, the number 1,000. Could do it on this drive.
And you have to think to yourself that this moment, getting to this spot, it started in the offseason, right? Not just the workouts, right? Not just getting yourself physically prepared to play, but mentally, as well as your team, as well as your unit, head coach, offensive coordinator. We run the football. We give you opportunities. He's taking advantage of it.
And when you get this close to the mark, you just hope things don't tighten up, right? You probably want to get there and get it in your rearview mirror.
You really do, don't you? Because now it becomes predominant, and you wonder about play calling as well. Do you want to call plays to get that out of the way, or are you still calling plays to win the game first? That becomes the burden of the play caller. Just a couple on the ground there. That's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
Bridgewater to throw it. It's complete right side to Benjamin. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. They stop him for only 3 that time, and that'll bring up 4th down. I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy. Here's Sam Martin now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. He'll send this one into the mile-high air, and it's a good one. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10.
Henry Ruggs and the Raiders set to go back to work.
A chance maybe here for them to get him more involved. They're down here on the scoreboard, and he's been very quiet.
And the silence has been deafening for his team. They don't need that at all. They need fireworks. They need explosive plays. They need him touching the football in any way possible. Maybe go to some jet sweeps. Anything to get him going.
Well, something to get him the ball. We'll see if they can do it.
On 1st and 10, it's Hurts.
Eluding the pressure right. The ball comes out. It's picked up by the Broncos. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line. And now 3 drives tackles, 3 fumbles.
What's amazing about it is when we go around and watch practices, how many times do we see them put that sleeve over a football now to make it more slippery and hard to handle? It's almost like they're playing with that sleeve on the ball right now. Was it 3 drives?
Yep.
3 fumbles?
3 fumbles.
It's time to change our luck some way, somehow. Focus, concentration. You'll hear those words on the bench in a big way right now.
On first down, it's Williams, able to fight through 1 tackle. And he's going to be taken down with a marker on the field. So let's see about the call. That time the right guard sending him backwards.
And so many different types of guys rotate in on the defensive line now, depending on situations. You can get the bulky guy, the fast guy. No matter what, though, you can't hold him.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
And I can see the officials kind of looking at each other down there, silently wondering, does this meet the level of grounding? Fortunately, he did have a receiver in the area, but I have seen less obvious throwaways called as penalties.
Back quite a ways here, facing 2nd and 19. Out of the gun, Bridgewater. And that's off the mark, incomplete.
Feels like they're getting caught in between here because they did incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. Now you got to worry a little bit about the clock because you prefer not to give them another shot here in the first half. But if you don't pick up the first down, guess what? You're likely going to have to.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He's got his 6'5" receiver. That's Tim Patrick. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. And this one will not get there. It's off to the left anyway. It's no good.
Always disappointing when you miss a field goal, but when you're playing against a defense this good, you and I both know that's a crucial miss because you can't afford to leave any points out there. You've got to take them when you can.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that.
All the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game.
And I think the ball's out, but this will fortunately wind up out of bounds. Well, this hasn't been their cleanest first half of football. Last thing they wanted to do was give it up to the opposition, but able to keep it as it goes out of bounds.
Yeah, tough first half, no doubt about it. But if they turn it over there, now things turn a little, how would you say it, dire? And they didn't need that hassle at all. So being able to take care of the football is paramount. Fortunate bounce for them there in order to retain it.
The fumble on first down. Now here's 2nd down. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. A first down and more for Jacobs. And finally brought down at the 31-yard line. 49 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. Thought they were going to have him down a lot earlier, but he was able to shed that tackle.
Shows the value of the weight room, doesn't it? Shows the value of the attitude when you run the football. Don't go down easily. Break a few tackles. Gain some additional yardage.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Going on the ground with Jacobs. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 17 seconds to go in this first half of action. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Throwing from the gun, it's Hurts. And this one complete to Smith. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. This will be caught at about the 6. And the Raiders are going to have a 1st and goal as the tackle is made at about the 5. So we've reached halftime here on Christmas Day. As we send you on out to our studios in Orlando, here's Jonathan Coachman at REA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. Happy holidays to you all at home as we take you around the NFL on this 25th day of December. We'll get started out at Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, where it was the Chiefs who were able to come away with the home victory. Patrick Mahomes leading the way in the victory with 3 touchdown passes. From there, we head over to the West Coast. Check out the Niners at home at Levi Stadium. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting L.A. Rams. Trey Lance has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, let's get you way up to Seattle. See what's happening with the Seahawks. And it's the visiting Minnesota Vikings who are out in front. Justin Jefferson, a touchdown reception. On now to a check on the next-gen stats for the Raiders in that first half. And even though they've got work to do on the scoreboard, their running game has been solid. Over 100 yards rushing in that first half. Meanwhile, for the Broncos, the rushing numbers tell a different story. They really couldn't get a whole lot going on the ground. And the evidence? The numbers. You'd have to imagine, given the snowy condition, lots to talk about at halftime for these two coaching staffs. Plenty of decisions to be made for this second half for sure. And for the call, we hand it back over to Brandon Gaudin.
Indeed, Coach. Thanks very much. And that snow you alluded to showing no signs of stopping, at least in the foreseeable future. The Rocky Mountain snow looks like it's going to continue through this second half as we are back underway in Denver. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Out comes the Raiders offense. They'll go on offense first to start quarter number 3. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball into the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
Flushed out right. Complete to his running back, Kenyon Drake. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45.
Well, we talk all the time about playing situational football, and right now I think the scoreboard is dictating what they need to do. Where they are in this game, they've got to push the ball downfield, take their shots, try and get big chunks of yardage in a short amount of time. That was a nice play there.
They'll throw on first down with Hurts. Flush to his right. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at second down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. We've been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield and they accounted for pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40.
Sometimes guys get locked into such a groove. What do we call it? The game slowing down. They see everything happening almost in slow motion. They see the lanes develop. I feel like he's right there.
Well, and you want this from your leader, right? With this deficit, this stage of the game, second half, no quit in him.
Zero.
Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. Hurts sets up to throw it. They'll set up the screen to Drake. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That one unable to develop, never got going. A loss of a couple, and it's 2nd down. Boy, how good has this defense been seemingly all game long?
I really think right from the first snap, I think you're really onto something there. In this passing game, it just can't get off the ground. And that play, it wound up losing yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Hurts, throw right side, going to be caught by Waller. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
Let's not quibble about the gain there on 2nd down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives a much better opportunity to convert on 3rd down.
Throwing is Hurts. And he fires one, but incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
And that is no good. And this score will stay right where it is. And here comes a big tight end as he gets set for this next drive. And what can they do to better account for him? Because they haven't accounted for him well so far as we see here on your screen.
They may have to draw up coverages they haven't run so far. They have to create something on the fly because he's beaten everything. And when you watch this game unfold, you keep thinking to yourself, is it 2 men, 3 men, maybe even a 4th guy may have to go and account for him. But right now, he's shredding the defense.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, over 100 yards.
Bridgewater's throw taken in here by Patrick.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
And while we may be looking at the scoreboard, this offense certainly is not because they're showing no signs of backing down, even with a 3-score lead here in the 3rd quarter. I think they keep taking their shots. They've seen blown leads happen throughout this league. They don't want to fall victim to it themselves.
And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40.
5 yards remain on 2nd down.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there? Freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free.
And the Raiders have got him. Max Crosby, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues.
He was still looking through his progressions and going through his receiver options, and while he was doing that, the defense got to him quickly in the pocket.
And it was a great example of zone coverage, well executed, well coordinated. All the receivers were covered, and he couldn't evade the rush back in the pocket.
Third and long now after the sack, and we'll see if Bridgewater has a response. Back to throw here. And incomplete on the deep ball.
There is something to a game plan with trying to keep a defense honest. With a guy with that type of speed, you do so. Send him deep, try and throw some air under it, and hope you connect downfield. On that play, they run successful.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. The Raider offense now making their way toward the huddle. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
Off the option, here's Jacobs.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be second down.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Once again, it's Jacobs.
And once again, not much running room, if any at all.
Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on third down. Maybe I'm wrong, but it looked like even if he had opted to keep that, I don't think there was going to be much to gain.
Seemed like it was perfectly defense, and know what they say. Those guys on the other side, they get paid too.
Hurts. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he'll be brought down at the 34, well short of the first down marker. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to fourth down. Here's A.J. Cole now,
as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. So a change of possession here on the punt. And it'll be 1st and 10 Broncos from deep in their own territory. Teddy Bridgewater and the Broncos ready to go on offense. He's played well. Good first half. He's continued that here in the third quarter. But my question, when you're a head coach, what do you look at stat line-wise for your coach? Do you go right to turnovers?
You really do. As much as coaches don't want to talk about that, that's where it starts. When I played in college, our first rule for every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. And that's kind of how they judge you. Do you take care of the ball, not turn it over, keep it in the proper hands, and give your team a chance to win?
Well, that's what he's done here in this one so far. On second down, Williams. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves them with 3rd and 9 looming.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
And forcing completion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
On third down, Bridgewater. And this is going to be incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Raiders offense coming back out onto the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. It's complete to Drake. And he'll lose yardage here, back at the 47. It'll be a loss of 4 yards on the play. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. Well, this is where the mile-high air really starts to affect an opposing offense. Guys moving a bit slowly here. It's 3rd and long. He's got Smith here. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the first. Here's A.J. Cole now as he'll punt it away for the second time. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted at the 14-yard line. We are off to the fourth quarter here on this special Christmas Day broadcast. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth. Denver offense at the line, ready to go. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10. Looks like he's going to get a couple here on this first down carry, and that'll make it 2nd and 8.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And after that play, we've got an injury, and it appears to be to Cortland Sutton.
Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back.
And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. It's a 7-yard run, but it does bring up 4th down.
And that's the kind of run that gets everyone excited on offense. And, you know, oftentimes the guys who carry the ball are the ones in the huddle doing the chirping. Right now, I think it's the offensive line telling them, run it again. We are right there about to break a big one.
It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Hurts to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll be out of bounds after getting this one across the 40. Nice work to get 7 out of that, and it's 2nd down. From the gun, it's Hurts. It's caught. Smith. They find some open field here. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. Devontae Smith, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Raiders are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Well, we know that he can beat you in a number of ways. He can catch it short, he can take it long, or he can do what we just saw right there, catch it and then run with the football.
Yeah, and this just looked like a simple, ordinary play to start, but boy, did things change. Once he got free, it was off to the races, and once he hit high gear, there's absolutely no one who was going to stop him.
And the next-gen stats show us the tale of how much yardage he was able to tack on after the catch. Now for the extra point, Daniel Carlson. It's up and good, and the lead is down now at 11. It's 21-10. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. From the 6. And he'll get it up across the 20 to the 21-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Now all of a sudden we've got an interesting game here. You just saw them go down and score a touchdown. And what was a comfortable lead at halftime, it's down to a 2-score game.
And so the obvious thought is they got to wrap things back up again. Got to get the offense into high gear. But we've seen this before. When you've kind of been in shutdown mode for a while thinking that you're okay, it's hard to mash the gas again and have everything work perfectly. They've got to fashion together a good drive right here and now.
Because defensively, got to be feeling confident. They haven't allowed a point this half. Williams going to get it again on 2nd down. And he'll take it forward for about 5 up to the 28-yard line.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted a third of their opportunities, 3 for 9. Here it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and run for it. Here's Williams. And they're able to get this one across the 35. 51 yards rushing for him here as he starts to draw closer to a 1,000-yard campaign. So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10. Bridgewater's throw there complete to Hamler. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. So here's a 1st and 10 now in Raider territory at the 49-yard line. Now a man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Williams. The tackle made by K.J. Wright. Starting to become a tough spot for this defense. You're down 4th quarter, looking a little fatigued maybe on that side of the ball.
Partner, we've seen this before, haven't we? Because every coach we've ever talked to says body language is important. And now you're seeing guys with their hands on their hips, they're bent over, hands on their knees. And the offensive guys are just saying, let's just keep running it at them. We've got them now.
So give him 2 yards there on the completion, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And he will have a Broncos 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
And that pickup of a 1st down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
So frustrating defensively. You're a play away from getting that football back here, down late. Tough.
Now they've got to find a way to create a turnover or takeaway. Otherwise, this one will probably get away from them.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. Following the penalty, it's Williams. And a solid run down inside the 30. Now after the running play, we've got a man down on the field. Not something you want to see in Week 16 or any week, really. We'll be right back. And they'll work from the 29 on 2nd and 6. Again, it's Williams. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
That's a gain of 3. Brings up 3rd and 3.
From the gun, Bridgewater. And that is incomplete.
They really had a good drive going there, but a nice recovery by the defense these past few downs, able to knock that one away on 3rd down and bring up what I think for the offense, an unexpected 4th down here.
Rosa's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
On 1st down, Hurts. And that'll be checked down to Drake. And they're able to get this one across the 35. And the offense moving quickly to the line. They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Oh, he'll air this one deep for Judy. And this one is incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. On 2nd and 10, Hurts. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. 9 yards, and that leaves him just short, so it'll be third and less than a yard.
Heady on that one, huh? Getting out of bounds before the 2-minute warning. They get an extra timeout, extra opportunity to move the ball downfield. Very smart football.
And that will be incomplete. Down under 2 minutes to go in this football game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there. I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
Whew, that's certainly not the worst thing. It stops the clock and lets your offense catch its breath and lets us exhale a little bit. Now I expect them to call a couple plays in the huddle, so they're ready if a tackle happens inbounds.
To throw again on 2nd down. Hurts, and he hits Drake. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. They do get a couple, but they'll be left staring at a 3rd and 8 coming up. Back to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And this one dropped in the end zone. Looked like a touchdown, but not to be. And now it's 4th down. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Broncos will take over on downs. So with that, we can just about close the book on this one, Charles.
Yeah, what's the old expression about slim and none? Well, Slim just left town on that
They're
one.
down to none?
Yes, exactly right.
They begin the drive with Williams. And he's going to take this one up only to about the 44-yard line. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts, as the clock's going to stop with 47 seconds to go in the 4th. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. They run it again with Williams. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Now the Raiders going to burn their 3rd and final timeout, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. And the Raiders call on a nickel set for 3rd down. The win for the Broncos seemingly assured. They go down to a knee. Here's Sam Martin now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. So this one will...